Yep, it is time. The stock Evo 9 build starts today. This is the last time you're ever going to see this car looking like this. I want to discuss what I mean by building a stock Evo in 2025 and write myself a bit of a game plan and a to-do list on how I'm going to achieve this. Beginning with the bodywork of the car. So body, we'll be moving the front lip, the carbon skirt extensions, the carbon diffuser, and the replica Voltex wing. That's most of the bodywork. I'll also be going back to the stock OEM side mirrors. The Shift Performance replica Ganadors are really good, they look great, but seeing out of them is an absolute nightmare. The lens is so small that when you're reversing, you can't see the lines. So we're going back to the stock mirrors. Now, I will be quite sad to see all these parts come off the car because this is the vision that I had when I bought this car, all these parts. But I will be storing them in the garage. I feel like they're probably going to go back on one day, most of them. So we'll keep them around. But for the moment, they're coming off. So I'll be giving the front bumper a lot of love. Bumper. So for that, we've got a bumper tab repair kit. Tab, repair. We'll be doing new paint to the mesh and generally just working on the fitment. Currently, it's pretty much held on with 2 clips, 2 cable ties, and hopes and dreams. We got to do better than that. Moving on to the intercooler piping. So we've currently got a Mishimoto full intercooler piping kit, which we will be taking off the car. Now, I'm sure you're thinking, well, you've got a whole kit on the car and it looks awesome, why would you get rid of it? Honestly, it doesn't fit that well. It's not bad. The top of the main part of the cold side does rub on the bonnet, which is driving me absolutely bonkers. And it does sort of foul up against the airbox a little bit. So that's sort of one reason to get rid of it. We will be going back to a stock cold side. I do have the stock pipes here, so we will be putting them back on. We are going to paint them black before they go on. We're going to give them that sort of stealth look. That's how my brother 7 is set up and I really like it. We do have a set of black silicone joiners from Shift Performance. A new set, we're going to chuck them on. It's going to be nice and stealthy, it's going to look good. We do also have a Plasma Man hot side to go on the car. Now I'm sure you're thinking, why? The Plasma Man hot side comes with a bigger diameter J-pipe that comes off the turbo. So when we tune the car, that's a good way to spend not a lot of money and get a little bit of extra horsepower. We have picked up a stock under tray to go on the car. I think I mentioned this in the last video. I'm planning on going to the snow and driving on gravel roads. So I feel like it's a good idea to have some underbody protection for the engine. I know they're a pain, they're hard to install, they're hard to remove. There's 500 clips in them. I kind of hate it, but I feel like it's a good idea to have something like that installed, so we'll be chucking that on. Suspension wise, we're going to be sticking with the MCA Blues that came on the car when I bought it 3.5 years ago. They're good, probably all round coilover. We will be making 2 adjustments. We'll be lifting them up a little bit so we get some more ride height. We'll also be softening the dampening a little bit because they are adjustable. It's currently set to maximum stiffness to alleviate the scrubbing since it's got the big tires on there, so we might sort of dial it down to halfway. I'm hoping that will make the car a lot more comfortable, or maybe not a lot, but slightly more comfortable on the road trip kind of thing. We do have a set of stock wheels like I mentioned. They have pretty much new Michelin Pilot Sport 4s on them. And while I'm really going to miss the TEs, I am excited to have a set of wheels on the car that I don't have to worry about and I can just go for my life. Hit the gravel roads, whatever, send it. So we got to install those. This is a big heading. Electrical. My God, where do we begin? We will probably be removing the underglow. As much as I love the hard tuned kit and it is so much fun, it's probably just not going to suit the vibe of the build. So I think we'll probably remove that. Much like the body stuff, I'll be keeping it. It'll probably go back on the car one day. I might try and install it a bit better. Sort of a few areas where I went over the wheel wells that I think I probably could have gone around. So I might look into that in the future. So that'll be coming off. I need to hardwire my dash cam. It currently runs off the cigarette lighter, which kind of annoys me to be honest. So we're gonna run a fuse adapter and plug that into the fuse box. Just get that hardwired. We'll be road tripping, so I want to use that port for charging for mine and Jess's phones. Essentially is the reason behind that. My speakers currently make a horrible buzzing noise when you're not really playing music. It's It's horrible, quite honestly. I'm assuming it's something to do with the amplifier. Maybe the power lead's too close to the RCAs, or there's a grounding issue. So we do need to investigate that situation. Fix buzzing. I currently have my AFR gauge disconnected because the sensor is not installed. If you remember when we installed the Tomei, the sensor in the exhaust for the AFR gauge was fouling on the tail shaft because of the way the Tomei sits. So, because we're getting rid of the Tomei, I'm not up to that bit yet. We'll be putting that sensor back in so we can get some AFRs back again. That's pretty important, I think, for tuning and just for generally driving around, making sure that we're still healthy, nothing crazy is going on with the engine, so I definitely want that back on. Now, we are getting the car tuned on the stock ECU. We're not doing any crazy standalone ECUs because we don't want a crazy build. Of course, the downside to that is there are no real fail-safes other than, I believe, just like a simple knock control. So I do have a Bluetooth OBD2 port reader. Now, what that should allow me to do is plug that into my OBD2 port and connect that to the Android head unit via an app called Talk Pro. Now, that will give me more readouts from the car. I'm not exactly sure what readouts, but I wanna see if I can get that set up. You know, that'll be good to have. I can check it every now and again, make sure everything's reading like it should. Intake temps, coolant temps, you know, fuel pressure, hopefully all that sort of stuff that'll be important to have. So I wanna get that set up. The battery situation, my God, I've really only just moved the battery to the boot. In all honesty, I'm not entirely happy with the setup, and I was sort of going to adjust it anyway before I came up with this plan of road tripping my Evo. But now obviously we're going to be road tripping, I'm going to be camping, we're going to have bags, I need boot space. Not only that, I kind of hate the emptiness of the engine bay where the battery was. It just feels like a big gaping hole with nothing in it. Now the plan was to put a catch can there, but being that we're doing this sort of stock build, we don't need a catch can. So I'm going to put the battery back in the engine bay, which I know, annoying, but we do have a HKS style battery tray from Shift Performance. So we're going to try and set that up, put that at an angle, looks quite nice. I think we'll try and do something there with that. Moving on to the exhaust. Like I mentioned earlier, the Tomei is coming off. I love the Tomei, it sounds awesome, but it is a little bit drony for road trips. I think it would be a nightmare, it's probably going to drive me crazy. We are going to put the NVIDIA back on, so we'll be going back to a full 3-inch NVIDIA system from the turbo all the way to the back of the car. That's going to be great. Unfortunately, the NVIDIA is a little bit, it's dirty. The paint job that I did, because it was a satin paint, a lot of dirt stuck to it. It's going to repaint this. We're going to try and use a gloss this time. It's not as high temp, but hopefully it'll be okay. Same thing that we painted the brakes in. So we'll be giving the exhaust a little bit of love before it goes back on. Now, another common Evo thing is that the headlights are absolutely shocking in this car. So way back when, I installed some Illuma kit. I think it was the LED kit, not the HID kit. I think it was the LED kit. When I installed them, I didn't really know what I was doing, and I was really struggling to work out how they connected. So I'm not really overly happy with that setup. The stock bulbs do come with dust covers. I'm not sure if those dust covers are compatible with the LEDs because it has a little fan in the back of it. I want to try and explore that. I don't really like not having a dust cover. Obviously, you can get a bunch of stuff in your headlight lens, which is not a good idea. So we need to work that out too. Moving on to servicing. The servicing side of things, which is obviously pretty important if we're going to be doing a bunch of Ks in the car. Now, the first things first is I'm going to be doing the timing belt. Oh my God, it is probably the most daunting part of this whole project. I've had it sitting here for quite a while. It's not necessarily due, but look, I think it's over tensioned because it does make a whining noise. I think there's something sort of going on there. I just want to redo it just for my peace of mind. It'll make me feel better as long as I do it and the engine doesn't explode. I think if I don't overcomplicate it and just take my time, we'll be fine. I've only had 2 days for that. Timing belt. The other thing that we'll be doing is we're doing fluids. Now, we're not going to do all the fluids, but we're going to do pretty much all of them. The only ones we're not going to do is coolant and brake fluid. We did that recently. We are going to be doing engine oil, obviously. We're going to do gearbox, transfer, diff, AYC, power steering. Is that it? Is that all of them? I think that's all of them. I need to see what fluids I have. I might need to order some more. I'm not sure. But that's what we're doing there. Now, of course, we're getting it tuned, so it's not a bad idea. It's a time to do things. You know, we're getting the car tuned. We want the setup exactly what we want. So when I spoke to the tuner, I did ask if there's a few things that we should think about doing. He suggested Walbro 255 fuel pump. He will be installing that. I won't be doing that. Obviously, I'm going to drive the car there. He can install it, tune it, works for me. We're also doing a 3-port boost controller, BC 3-port. That'll help us control the boost a little bit more. Pretty important for the tune. They're going to install that as well, and then they're going to tune the car. I don't really know how to install that. I'm sure I could work it out, but again, it's one of those things where I'm going to take the car there, put it. I don't know if you can drive. Like if I install that, can I drive it there? I don't think so. I don't really know, but they're going to install that, so we don't have to do that part. This is a pretty considerable list of things that we have to do in 17 days. I'm going to have a bit of lunch, and then let's get to it. Thanks for watching. The mods start in the next video. We're going to start with the front bumper, I think. Get that off, get that sorted. I'm super excited. If there's anything else you think I should try and do before the tune, please let me know. I'm not trying to spend a whole bunch of money on things, just the little things, you know, let me know.